There you go. All right. Yo, the ninja, how you doing, bro? Doing fine, man. JPEG for PG. Do I know you from before? Alright, what do we use today? What do we use today? I feel like playing with the underrated thrusting sword, but maybe we're gonna dabble a little bit into maybe double lance. Actually, I haven't played with those in a while. Not a bot account, I swear. No, I'm just. I didn't think you were a bot. Your name looked familiar, that's why. Thrusting sword, but Roger Rapier? Yeah, exactly. Yo, what's up, Teach? How you doing, bro? Man, guys, when is Tarnished Edition finally gonna come around, dude? It's taking a while, isn't it? Yo, what's up, Green? I feel like, yo, Marco, how you doing, bro? I feel like Tarnished Edition's taking too long, man. What's Tarnished Edition? Tarnished Edition, Marco, is what's gonna save us all. It's the second coming of Miyazaki, actually. It's a re-release of Elden Ring on Switch 2, but here's the kicker. It comes in a form of an update for all the other platforms, and it's gonna introduce, I think, like 4 new weapons and 4 new armors. That's it. And your life will be changed after that. You'll become more grateful. You'll start to appreciate what you have more. You might even become a better person. I thought this goat was an enemy. Come on, Terrain. Oh, I thought it was the other sword. Okay, well, do some damage here. He does 200 damage and you did 1,000? To be fair, that's actually very normal because he had like light armor, I had heavy armor, and he was using one straight sword, and I'm using two great lances. So I mean, you can clearly see that this is about the type of damage you'd expect, like under most circumstances. Yo, Isham, how are you doing, bro? You're just hoping they balance? You see, the thing is, I don't think that's gonna happen. Nerf PSGS again, yeah, right. They're gonna come in and nerf PSGS once more. Yo, Mark, thanks for the resub, bro. Welcome back. Thanks for the resub for 23, man. Right, that's the same guy, isn't it? Let's see here, I think that's the same guy. They're gonna take away crouching and add super sprint? Yeah, exactly. Oh, camera. And he's gonna do the same thing again, yeah. Either we did 790 here. He has a trusting sword. Interesting mix-up. And counter hit. I feel like I haven't played with like straight up lances in a while. Like I can definitely feel the tracking differences. I've been playing a lot with main hand Serpent Hunter. Like you really feel that tracking difference. Yo, Puddle Venus, thank you so much for the resub for over a year, bro. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that. Yo, FIFO, thanks for the Twitch Prime resub for 2 years, bro. Thank you so much, FIFO. Guys, thank you so much. Seriously. Really appreciate that. You're absolutely loving the Nightreign content. Keep it up. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, Libra this week, we can definitely do that. That under us? No, okay, that's above. I'm feeling as gameplay, dude. Oh my god, and his net is like super dog shit. And he's dead. Insane. Actually insane. L2, 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 L2 dead. Yeah, pretty much. That was actually insane indeed, though. What was that PS Crusher build? Oh, you didn't see it, Filthy? I made a few vids about it. Pretty nasty, isn't it? Usually when I make a build like that, I don't revisit it, but a double Crusher, man, was just too great. But that, like, the thing with that Crusher build is I'm using the same exact stats I'm always using. There's nothing different. It's just, you know, you just put in all the tallies to fit in, like, you know. Actually, the only difference with this current setup is the armor. And this is the strength tally. That's it. And then for the armor, I put the 5 strength points helmet. And then lay the armor and, like, some gloves and boots that fit the weight ratio. That's about it. That stream with Giant Crusher 2v2 was something mad. Yeah, that was pretty... that was something. That was pretty nice, honestly. Like, everyone with Crushers. Speaking of Crushers, I need to add them permanently to my inventory. I keep forgetting. Yeah, Bleed Exaltation. The damage skyrockets on Bleed procs. Which one are the Bleed Exaltation? Were they the one that I, like, farmed that day? I only got like 3 of, or I didn't farm, but I went to go farm them, and we found them on the floor, or whatever. Did I see the host here, or was I tripping? Yes, I was tripping. Interesting. Ah, PSGS. I missed you. So much fun to play with that. Yo, FIFO, thanks for the gifted to Isham. Really appreciate. You swap Crushers for Golem and only notice a difference if the other person is min-max? Nah, Vel, it does like about 100 more damage. Also, you don't have that same, like, actually, now that we're here, let's just compare the AR difference. Also, I think the stamina damage is also very different. Okay. On. No, wait, let's just put this, and then one sec, guys. Heavy, and then bleed. Let's just... just really quickly, just for the sake of checking out the damage. Okay, damage here is 758. This here is 639, 809, and then 712. So if you're using the bleed one, significant AR difference there, especially when you start to buff it. I mean, it's true though that with these, like, they're, well, I mean, they're not that lighter, like, to be honest, like, well, I mean, fine, yeah, I mean, a difference of 10, basically, because you have two of them, like your power stance, and difference of 10 is still significant, all things considered, but you do feel that damage difference. You really do feel it. Because I know, just, like, not having the crouch tally, like, I was doing 2s yesterday, and not having the crouch tally, like, made me, like, miss out on the triple shot kill. And so you really want to have to be able to kill, like, quote-unquote, like, optimized builds in 3 hits. Like, when I use these crushers, I don't use Cram, I use Exalted Flesh. I use Exalted Flesh and Double Bragger. Although the Blood Tally Veil is interesting because, like, for me, because I'm using the Crusher, like, I need to use the Strength Talisman, so I'm basically losing a Talisman slot by doing that. So maybe you're actually coming out on top with the Exaltation, although you have to have that kick in, right? But that's an interesting choice. I think at the end of the day, you'd probably still do better with Crushers, though. The tally is 20% extra damage. 20% is significant. Especially when you get into the high numbers that these give you, like this here, giving you like 607. So you're talking about like an extra 120, thing like that. Maybe like 121, 122 probably. Doesn't Crusher use more stam? It definitely does more stamina damage. And stamina damage is actually very handy in invasions. Like when you're invading people, you fight a lot of Great Shields and sometimes Fingerprint. And with the double Crushers, like going against a Fingerprint is so much less of a hassle. It's a big difference. Be careful, there's another guy. I don't know if they cleared the area this time. Yeah, they did. Insane. This time they cleared the map. Last time they didn't like it because they had not cleared the map, so they lost because of that. Now they cleared the map. They feel a lot safer here. And because of his shit net, gets that. Dude, the camera almost fucked me there. They don't have the tongue open. They have the world cleared. This is just pointless. Camera is deadly? Yeah, I almost got killed because of the camera. Pretty crazy. Yo, Firekeeper, how you doing, bro? Good fight. What the fuck? So stupid. Not the guy, just the game. Never seen that incant deal such low damage. Yeah, for real, it didn't really do a whole lot. Usually that incantation can nearly one-shot. Well, not that it really changes anything in that one, but... it is what it is. We do a little PSGS? Yep, Flower, a little PSGS. To be fair, PSGS is not good in invasions. It's just not an amazing setup when you're invading because there's a lot of commitment to that setup. Like, you have to commit a lot to everything you're doing. Like, you want the big damage jump attack, you're exposing yourself to getting hit or getting backstabbed by the others. Even the crouch attack have, like, more recovery than, like, a lot of similar damaging options, let's say. Like, for instance, like a two-handed Freya CGS would be, like, a lot safer because you have hyper armor. And you do, like, similar damage. Albert versus Crusher range difference is quite large. That is something that I need to see for myself. Like in practice. Because, you know, there's like seeing the difference on like a picture. And like when you play with it and you feel the difference in range, that's always different. There's some weapons where like the range difference doesn't really feel all that big of a deal, but sometimes it really does. Like for instance, the straight swords in Dark Souls 3, like Goddard really felt massively different to play with than like the other straight swords. The range difference really felt massive. It's a moveset by moveset basis, really. Last second. thing he waited. I just realized something. I can't quick swap to VHS. Gonna have to swap for this one because I'm gonna need that VHS escape. No! Stupid elevation canceled my flask, dude. Oh, that's so bad. Dropping down that little rock ledge canceled my fucking flask. And the timing needed to be, like, on point. Otherwise, I was gonna get punished for that. It's just so unfortunate. I think for the sake of swapping, though, we're gonna have to use this here. Funny, people always say, like, that invasions against free PvEers are too easy. Like, people are clearly stupid. They don't know anything about this game. Like, these invasions, like the one we just fought, are, like, so fucking hard. It's just that it's unrewarding and looks like nothing when you win them. But it is actually very hard and very difficult to win those. Oh, not that. Why is it fire? That had some extra range there. Just hate when they all have like different stun tier weapons. You just get infinited for your whole HP bar. Is that how it works, Avail? Like, if you get hit by, like, let's say, like, tier stun 2, and then the other guy had tier stun 1, and then, like, the other guy had tier stun 2, it's like it just creates an infinite loop, whereas if it was, like, tier stuns 2, like, twice, like, you'd be able to roll out? Is it really that stupid? Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's disgusting. I remember, I remember in the network test, like, we got infinited by, like, one-handed greatswords. Like, when the game, like... But before the game released, like, we basically got a glance of, like... just getting blendered to death. Like you get stuck between an UGS and a CGS and enjoy losing from one mistake? Oh shit, okay. That makes sense, honestly, because I feel like I've died so much to blenders like what you're describing. And not necessarily so much like UGS CGS, but like small weapons with like medium or large weapons. Like that happened a lot. Should have jumped that. Usually tier 2 and 3 will force you to get stuck if they aren't hitting you at the same time. Yeah, that goes in line with what happened in the network test. Although, from my experience, I thought that it doesn't matter what you get hit by as long as there's a weapon that has tier 2 and 3 involved. Like, if you're fighting two weapons that have tier 2, you're gonna get stuck. If you're fighting one weapon that has tier 1, tier 2, you're gonna get stuck. If you're fighting one weapon that has tier 3 and tier 1, you're gonna get stuck. Like, as long as they're 1 tier 2 or 1 tier 3, like, you might get blundered. But I thought what you were saying is if there's two tier 2 weapons involved, then you don't get stun locked. And like, I thought what you were saying is like you get more stunned if it's a tier 1 and a tier 2 than two tier 2 weapons. That's what you're saying? Okay. Just making sure I get that right. Because that's when the hit counter resets, basically, is what you're saying. Oh, just got something that's gonna be invincible here. Actually, send him down. Full blue behind me. Crazy, right? How like we killed the Phantom while he was AFK, and the moment we killed him, a blue came in like at the exact same second. Oh, and the blue returned home. Wow, no hit there. I definitely much prefer, I'm too used to it now, but I much prefer the old tracking. Our lance is longer than Mesmer Spear? Yeah, by a little bit. Lances also look better in your opinion? Yeah, I agree with that. I think Lance look really good in this game for sure. Mesmer are kind of ugly, if I'm being honest. Like, I jumped on the fucking DLC weapons bandwagon when I made this inventory. Like, you know, the inventory is dedicated to actually Mesmer Spear technically, because they're the first weapons that have like all the swaps. And I don't even like using them because they're ugly as shit. I much prefer lances. I'm kind of sad that they're better than lance in every way. Like even the R2 is better on Mesmer. I hate when FromSoft does that, when they introduce a weapon that's better in every way, making another one obsolete. It's just not good. It's lazy. It's lazy to do that. Pay to win? Yeah, that's also pay to win. Like the one-handed roll attack from Lance in Dark Souls 3. You know what's crazy? I fucking won like one of the biggest tourney at the time using one-handed Lance, and I don't even remember what's the rolling attack. Oh yeah, that's right. That was the overhead swing. Right. No, I remember now. Right. Yeah, I remember. And it's been so it's been so long since I've played Dark Souls 3. Probably 3 years now. Oh shit. Good thing I knew that I had a Kestis there that I could escape with. Oh, this is cleared, what the hell? I think they're still chasing. Okay, separation. Where we strike. This is why you look behind, man, when you're moving around. You want to pay attention. Also, notice how, like, I almost got killed because I had no possibility to swap. Very dangerous. Go back. So did he drop down again? He's definitely down. Like, I think he might be down here. I don't know why he came back here. Probably got scared of the fucking mollusks. You still play fashion until you're forced to change? Yeah, I'm gonna do that with Tarnished Edition. I want the new armors. Problem for me is usually when I'm forced to change, it's too late. Like, if you're forced to change, you're already dead. It's like playing with quote-unquote fun weapons or, like, off-meta weapons. It's like, it's fun and all, And when you realize you should be switching, sometimes it's too late. I ate my input there. Great fucking players, dude. Honestly, an invasion such as this one, without switching to like a different setup, I feel helpless with PSGS. There's just like not a lot of situation where you can do much. Like for instance, the moment there's the Uggs and the whip with BHS, like you can't aggress the Uggs freely, and the whip guy like will usually like outrange you and attack you between your swings. And the distance he'll travel will sometimes lead you like, or lead him further than you can roll catch him. So it's just not very feasible. So many games just do hide helmet, just an example. Or also, you know, there's the Bloodborne way of doing it. Like in Bloodborne, armors like matters very little. Like you could also make it so that there's not like a massive statistical advantage or disadvantage for armor types. There's different ways to approach it. Because like the difference between like light and heavy armor here, or like high and low poise, is just like day and night. Like it makes or breaks matchups. It makes the game unplayable in certain matchups even. So because of that, you're kind of forced into wearing something you wouldn't want. The thing with buffs is I think all the buffs, like, first of all, I don't like games that are based around buffs, but like you don't want the effect to be large. You want the duration to be long, though. insane fight, guys. What are we doing? Black Flame Blade would be so strong if it lasted any longer than it does, though. No, not that buff, but like buffs in general. To be fair, Black Flame Blade, what it needs is not a buff duration, it's an FP decrease. Or like you need that buff to like not cost as much FP. Because it's unusable because of the FP cost it has. So yeah, like you're correct in saying that, like, you know, it's still a case by case basis. Like you can't just like have a blanket solution across the board, like what I just mentioned. Like you still need to adjust like a few of them independently. Like, for instance, even from a PvE perspective, it would be very enjoyable to be able to buff your weapon at the start of a level and be able to, like, clear the level without, like, constantly having to reapply that buff. I think from a gameplay perspective, it makes everything, like, more fluid. Like here, for instance, this is not like the hardest situation, but because of PSGS, my commitment of attack is like... I mean, if he's laggy on top of that... Wow, he just phased through my flame strike, dude. What a cheater. Okay, let's do a running attack. Oh. Actually, running attack is not gonna work, like he's lagging too much. Jesus Christ. That is just unplayable. I really feel like I'm making it harder for myself by playing with PSGS when invading. Nice true combo? Yeah. I think it's about time I make a vid about the underrated Clean Rod Sword. You know, just relax a little bit. Showcase like its underrated moveset, the R1, the poke attack after a BHS, you know, the running R2. I think people need to know about it. Never heard of it? Dude, it's actually super underrated. Like, people don't realize how underrated it is. I'm slowly starting to realize that I think the reason why I was finding like so much success earlier in the game's life cycle playing PSGS was probably because I was mainly playing with Great Bow. Oh my god, dude. Oh, that might kill me? No, okay. Okay, we can't stay here. I think it's time I showcase the underrated it's time to showcase the underrated thrusting sword. This guy does not give a fuck. God, dude. This is crazy. They're so fucking thirsty. Insane game. But yeah, like, try winning that with fucking PSGS. Like, it's almost impossible. Ada is also so underrated. So true, dude. So true. It's almost as underrated as the Shamshir. I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like Shamshir is a lot better in duels than invasions. Like, Shamshir is hella nasty in duels, but in invasions, it lacks that that quickness for the range that like TS has. Maybe my issue is that I need to try Shamshir BHS. Maybe that's the secret that we have not uncovered yet. Let's put BHS on a Shamshir and let's see what happens. Oops. We'll see. We'll see if Shamshir BHS feels as good in Invasion as Clean Rod BHS. I really don't think so, to be fair. One thing that Shamshir has over TS is the jumping R2. I mean, to be fair, like, the reason why you'd use Shamshir over TS is really because of sword dance, mostly. Yeah, crouch attack isn't as good. Like this is definitely not as threatening as Trusting Sword. Why did we stop using BHS on PSGS? I think because now it's better to have what's it called, Serpent Hunter in the main hand, so no Ash of War. But you're right, for invasions, it's probably best to still have VHS if you're gonna use Lance. Yeah, I think you're right on that. And for invasions, I think, yeah. Although sometimes, like, it depends on which invasion. Sometimes, like, having Flame Strike is just, like, a must. Like, when you have, like, super aggressive people that just cannot back down. Like, PSGS has, like, no option of, like, stopping them. So, like, a Flame Strike is needed in that situation. It's like, it's a case-by-case basis. Like, for some invasions, like, you need to be able to escape for some invasions. And other invasions, you need to be able to stop your opposition from, like, walking you down. Oh. Surely that's gonna be fun. Oh, I got aim punched. Oh no, he's laggy, never mind. Or latent, there we go. I'm gonna be honest though, that jump R2 is so good on Shamshir. It's definitely good. Have you tried Stormcaller as a swap? You've been using it and it's pretty nice. I'm gonna be honest. Even Stormhawk Axe, you know, I've used it, but I was never a big fan of it. Like, if I was to use a swap like that, I would use the Bear Claws, to be honest. But, right now, I'm internally debating to make a Dex build next to like, dedicate to Rakshasa swap. Because Rakshasa is the most obvious swap that this game ever had, that no one is using for some reason, even though it's by far the best one. It's the closest thing that there is to like a Lido or a Gundyr swap. I think it's the closest thing to like a Lido swap. The only difference is the only difference really is that it's variable. It's very similar to Lido. In a sense that you kind of out-hyper armor everything. Rack swap feels underrated? No, it's not underrated. Like, anyone that understands this game knows that it's by far the best swap. It's just that most people use strength builds, so they don't have it as a swap for a Dex build. I should probably do that. Feels like me playing Nightreign. Oh, he's not dead. Well, because the dragon got the kill. Rakshasa versus Great Bull, which one do you value more? CX2, like, that's the million-dollar question. This is what made me switch between fucking Dex and Strength. Dex build lack fun setups, in your opinion? What do you mean? You don't like fucking back and blade lens spot spam? Or fucking one button L2 faults cheese? You don't like that? Yeah, in builds have the most fun ones, I think. I think in builds are where the fun's at. Like int melee builds, I mean. But even then, like, gravitational missile, as annoying as it is, it's pretty fun to use, I must say. I think, guys, my issue is that I'm not max level. I should be a max level player, because I love everything about this game. There's so many fun setups. I need to use them all on my one build. That's my issue. I should be a max level player. Just play 20 int, 55 dex. Best of both worlds. See, like, if you're a 150 scrub, sure, you have a point. But I'm a 125 Chad. I can't do that. I need more endurance than that. If Grossmesser or Bandit had the same moveset as Shamshir, I wish it did, because I think Shamshir... I mean, Shamshir is not ugly, but I think Grossmesser is, like, so much better looking than the other curved swords. Not even close. Alright. Just realized something. That's the cheater. That's the cheater, guys. I was told the name of this guy yesterday. I just dodged the bullet. That's the cheater. Actually, yesterday when we were doing 2v2s, like, this guy came in there and crashed some people. And so the name of the cheater was shared around. And so for this one, for the first time, he tried to act like he was a scrub, but he was obviously, like, waiting his moment to activate his cheats. Probably he was immortal, and he was just waiting for his moment of attention to crash me. Not really sure I like this. Questionable. This is such a bad spot, guys. Just gotta make sure I don't run into nothingness. Too late. Where am I running here? This is one of the worst spots for this. Dead end. We have to wait for a moment. We're not gonna get many chances. Bro, that deserves a fucking shit pop. Is Zwei better for waves? No, it's not. Gugs is better in every way than Zwei except for weight. And stats requirement, that's about it. The only reason I'm using Zwei was weight restriction initially. If you overlevel, you should be using Gugs. Average river gamer, all he did was mash R1 the whole time. So it's just weight plus R2. Well, it depends even, like that. The R2 is not even like objectively better. Because like in a lot of invasions, like you'd rather have like the arc of Gugs rather than the poke of the Zwei, basically. Meteoric ore does that poke better? Yeah, meteoric ore is like probably the Uggs that you'd want to use, all things considered. The only reason you're not using it is because the build is hyper specific, right? Like the build for that requires like a dedicated build. Because it's very specific, like the weapon is very strength and arcane heavy. And because it's very heavy on top of that, like, you need to account for multiple stats. You can't just strap it on, like, any build. Like, you can't just strap it on your average arcane build because you're gonna lack strength, and you can't just slap it on your average strength build because you're gonna lack arcane, you know what I mean? Like, you need, like, some sort of, like, dedicated strength arcane. But meteoric ore also looks so cool. Like, I love the look of the weapon. And the ash is very good in invasions. Like, that ash is very, very good. It's a very good ash, like, overall, because it has, like, a lot of hyper armor. Like, you can hyper armor through, like, other ultra weapons. And that comes in very handy in a lot of matchups. So it has that. It is the best looking weapon. I mean, it depends on preferences. Like, for instance, I like the look of a claymore better, but it's definitely amongst the best looking ones. I agree with that. Because it's an invented weapon. Like, a complete fantasy weapon that looks cool is somewhat rare. Like, historical weapons are cool, but they were not designed by FromSoft. Were designed through fires of war. The Ash of War looks straight out of Armored Core. That's actually so true. That is such a good point. Yeah, I agree with you. You're so right. It does look straight out of Armored Core. Actually, the whole weapon kind of looks like Armored Core inspired for some reason, right? Like, FromSoft have always liked the for those who are like familiar with Armored Core in the series, like FromSoft always liked like the Kurosawa weapon, like the triangular shape weapons. You really like those. Again, I'm not necessarily talking about like swords, I'm talking about like even like firearms. Yo, Marcus, thank you for the 64 fucking months, Marcus. Holy fucking shit, dude. Thank you so much for 64 months, man. Thanks a lot. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much again, Marcus. Dude, Marcus has been with us for a long time. Marcus was also my main sponsor back in Dark Souls 3. Like, keeping the channel afloat and everything. Very grateful for that. We'll always remember that. So far, I will say Shamshir feels a lot better in Invasions than what I initially imagined, or what I expected. Like with BHS, I mean. Like Shamshir BHS feels a lot better than what I thought. And especially because of the jump R2. Like having that jump R2 is so useful. The jump R2 and the running light attack are just very, very good, like, chase down options against a lot of setups. Like, with the jump, you can stun pretty much everything, and with the running R1, like, you can travel a large distance to keep aggression on someone that's panic rolling. Some good stuff going for it. I mean, obviously, it's Shamshir, right? Like, who would have guessed, but... all things considered, like usually in Invasions, you really want to prioritize big damage. And this fucking map, though. I feel like we're in the wrong spot. Actually, before I respawn, can I drop here safely? I think I should be dropping a little further, just to be on the safe side. Or can I? I was planning on dropping like over here, but I don't even think that's possible. But I could make that jump. I clearly can't. Well, that certainly makes things a little tricky. Okay, let's just not take a chance and respawn here. Okay, we got the good spawn. Surprisingly, we won the spawn roulette. And now, is he outside or inside? He should be inside, right? Is that him? Insane ambush, by the way. You could see the difference in color between the Mimic and the real stones. It's so funny, man. The mind of a PvEer. Sometimes I find it a bit depressing how uncreative like some of these players are with like their decision making, their builds, their like for instance, this guy, instead of like jumping into something like on some rocks in order to hide there, he just like straight up went into the corner like a noob would do in Call of Duty. Instead of like jumping on an area that would be like away from main sight. I actually thought I had sword dance there. Oh, come on. Stupid game. Wow, elevation saved him there. They give up, dude. They give up. It's fun when it's 2v1, but it's not fun when it's 1v1. Most PvEers in any Souls games are just terrible, honestly. I actually disagree with that. I really, really strongly will argue that Elden Ring has by far the worst players, like mechanically the worst, most incompetent scrubs that I've ever seen in any Souls game. Like, people are so much worse at Elden Ring than I've seen in any other Souls game. And it's not even close. Like, Elden Ring has by far the worst players. And it's understandable, you can explain it. It reached a larger circle. Like, Souls games, historically speaking, were reserved for people who were looking for a more challenging experience. So it attracted, like, more dedicated gamers. Whereas Elden Ring went into the outer circle, to the casualized, brainless scrubs. And which are basically most people. And you can really see it when in the way that people play these games. And I think everyone noticed that too. The new players are also the most entitled. Yeah, it definitely has, like, you know, you want From Software to be successful so that they can improve upon their, you know, the stuff that they have, but at what cost, right? I definitely feel like Elden Ring is straying from what I initially loved about these games. Like, I genuinely felt like going from one Souls game to the next was like an improvement. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe I'm more of a fan of the Dark Souls series. I prefer the Dark Souls. I prefer the Dark Souls over Demon Souls, over Bloodborne, and over Elden Ring. So maybe I just prefer the franchise. Maybe that's what it is. I've always put all of these games in the same basket, but they are different franchises after all. Bro. I love how this misses like above his head. Oh boy, that flat. Oh boy. Bro, the trade there, that is some shit net. Holy fuck. Like, I got my hit first, like, way before his. Do you think this game was better off with passive poise? What do you mean was better off? It still has passive poise. Do you mean like the franchise? Like, do you think passive poise is better than no passive poise? Is that what you're asking? Passive poise sucks, I agree. The only thing that passive poise can be good at is like balancing stuff like fucking like TS, which it doesn't even do in Elden Ring. You see what I mean? Dude, inputs. This is scary, man. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, this guy is really bad. And I'm not playing, like, particularly bad. But I feel like the difference in skill is, like, shown, like it's not shown, like, at all. Like, throughout the fight like this. Like, whether it's in HP, in gameplay, or, like, anything. It's like the game, like, just makes me get hit by, like, you know, a few hidden inputs here and there, you know. And then that's it. Like, the guy loses every neutral, attacks out of stun, like, every time. And then the fight is, like, pretty much even. Like, that's what I hate about this game. Like, fights like the one you saw there, like, it's actually a close fight in terms of, like, how the fight went. But the skill difference is actually massive, and the fight does not reflect that. Like, you could tell that the guy had no timing, no spacing. And yet, the game doesn't care. It gives him perfect tracking. It gives him, like, a little extra range, extra damage, be able to attack out of stun. It takes away all these little things, and then you add, like, the input eating, early hitting, and then you get an even fight. I mean, he had high lat too. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, there's a long list of stuff, like, no matter the matchup, that makes fight go this way. That's the thing. That's why I cannot bring myself to like this game or take this game seriously. Like, there's a reason why the competitive scene for Elden Ring is the smallest of any Souls game, despite having the largest player base. Like, there's a reason for it. The crowd for Elden Ring tried Dark Souls and they rejected it. I don't know, I heard a lot of people that played Elden Ring and tried, like, other Souls game afterward, and they liked Dark Souls 3. Baby jump. The people you met that started with Elden Ring only like Dark Souls 3. Probably because Dark Souls 3 is less dated than the other Souls games. Like, Dark Souls... Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 and 2 are definitely more dated. Did you invest in a Switch 2? Hell no, Clay. I'm not buying a Switch 2, dude. Fuck that shit. Bro, people can jerk off on Duskblood on their own. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with that garbage. I mean, the Switch 2, like, Duskblood, unfortunately, no matter how it turns out, pretty much doomed. I ain't buying a fucking Switch 2, dude. Like, seriously. Fucking Switch 2, man. Like, I have this deep, dark desire that Duskblood fails because it's Switch 2 exclusive. You see what I mean? You heard that the new secret game will come before Duskblood? No way, Odium. That would be so sick, actually. That would make Duskblood even more irrelevant, actually. Think about it. That would make Duskblood completely irrelevant because people would be staying on that other new game. Unless that other new game is single player only. Oh. It's Sekiro 2. That's bad. Gonna hit the post. Bro, was that the host? No, it wasn't. Let me kill you. Thank you. Me bow. Dark Souls 3 without instant cancel is like fish without water. I mean, the thing with Dark Souls 3, like, a remake or a remaster doesn't make sense yet. Like, maybe in, like, let's say 5 years, or actually, yeah, let's say, like, 5 years when the next consoles come around, then it's gonna make sense. But right now, it doesn't. Like, it basically has the same graphics as Elden Ring. It runs at a similar frame rate as Elden Ring. Like, really... Like, what's the point? It's just people that are stuck to Dark Souls 3 that want to cope. But it's not outdated. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't make sense to, like, do a remake or a remaster yet. It's gonna make sense at some point. But, like, right now, it's just not dated enough, in my opinion. A Dark Souls 2 remaster makes more sense. I actually agree with you. Because Dark Souls 2 visually looks dated compared to Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring. In my opinion, it doesn't even look bad. Like in my opinion, the original Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 don't even look bad by today's standard. In fact, I would actually prefer, like, a Dark Souls 1 remaster, because the fucking... Or not remaster. I would prefer a Dark Souls 1 remake, because that stupid Dark Souls 1 remaster, like, was so bad. Like, I was so sad about how they handled that remaster. They made the game look worse, play worse, and run better. That's it. It was a really bad remaster. It removed a lot of the tech that made the game fun. They made a lot of visuals uglier. Like, objectively, like, I mean, like, there's some side-by-side comparison of where they added, like, lights that don't even make sense. Especially on the character. So, yeah. Not very happy with Dark Souls 1 Remaster, if I'm being honest. Demon Souls Remake, though, that's another story. Demon Souls Remake, even though I'm not a big Demon Souls fan, I feel like the remake was done well when in terms of like visuals and everything. They pretty much kept everything the same. They were just too pussy to change anything, but all in all, like, it was still a job well done at the end of the day. Unlike Dark Souls 1 Remaster, which made the game, like, worse. But the Demon Souls didn't make the game worse. It made a dated game still be dated. I think I take it. Yeah, I take it. They never made a real game. I'm sure they would be capable of it. Bro, could you imagine fucking Sony tasked Bluepoint to make a, what's it called, dude? A God of War fucking multiplayer online PvP game or live service. They fucking had Bluepoint make a live service God of War game. Dude, how out of touch and stupid do you have to be to make that sort of decision? Like, seriously, like, think about it. Like, what a waste of resources. Like, how dumb are they? Like, this is crazy. It's sometimes you wonder, like, how these companies are still alive. Like, there's so many... That's real news? Yes, that's real news, Clay. Like, it's actually old news, by the way. It's real, dude. They canned the project. That's why we know. Like, the project was canned. They just wasted Bluepoint's time. But yeah, like, between, like, fucking... What's it called? Dude, what was this game that, like, flopped that everyone was talking about? Forgot the name. I mean, you know, it cost, like, Sony, like, hundreds of millions. Thanks, dude, for pointing out that this was a hacker. I appreciate it. And you were quick enough. Yeah, Concord. Thanks, Semin. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so, like, you take Concord, like, dude, like, Sony's had so many flopped games, like, recently. I mean, Microsoft, too, to be fair, like, you wonder how these companies are still... Well, with Microsoft, we know why it's still alive. Like, it's because the Xbox brand is doing dog shit, but everything else Microsoft is doing is generating, like, bazillion money. That's why they're still alive, but... Dude, Sony... Still fucking abyssal, and... They're still alive, too. It's crazy how these companies are ran, man. Like, they can make so many mistakes and get away with it. Like, sometimes it feels like these executives are, like, completely detached from reality. Like, they don't know what type of company they're running. That's what it feels like. Like, from an outside perspective, like, they make decisions and you're like, what? Why did you think that was a good idea? Like, what the hell? Like, you guys are crazy. Let the baby jump. It's gonna be a good fight. To be fair, lose money because game sucks trend is pretty new. I don't know what you mean by new. Like, Ubisoft has been fucking plagued by that. Yeah, EA, Ubisoft, like, that's not a new trend. Like, you know, like, let's say, like, it's a 10-year-old trend, 15-year-old trend, I don't know anymore. Yeah, maybe a 15-year-old trend. Like, you know, we've had, like, good EA games in the past, like, a long time ago, good Ubisoft games. When it comes to Sony, like, it's not like all the games that they're making are bad, it's just that sometimes, like, you know, decision to push so much money behind, like, these live service projects, like, you can tell that these quote-unquote, like, managing heads are driven by data points that they don't even understand. Like, they understand that a perpetual source of revenue with a live service model like a Fortnite is something they want to strive for. That's the only thing they understand, but they don't understand why Fortnite was even popular in the first place. So, all their attempts at trying to chase that are completely futile. And they don't seem to have the foresight or the knowledge to realize that. It's not like it's not a like with gaming. It's not like you throw money at the project and at some point it's gonna work. Like, that's not how it is. Oh, he did no damage. This perfume is very dangerous because it does damage and it doesn't stun me. I can get blended by the others. And it does a lot of damage to top. No hit there. Played and save. At least the host separated from them. They're so bad, but this game allows for such fucking brainless gameplay. Like, this guy was one hit away from dying, but I couldn't finish him off because they're just hugging each other like freely. Like here, right? Like, you think you have a chance to kill him, then you get hit by everyone. Careful about the host. I love how we get like a teammate at the end where when we completely did not need it. I blame FromSoft for that. Like, you get a teammate after you kill the hardest one that's the kill. Like, doesn't really make sense, but oh well. Buddha Bovis, thank you so much for that Prime resub for 27 months, man. Holy shit, thank you so much. Thanks a lot, dude. Yo, Amish, you should check your Discord when you have time. The game glitch was supposed to be a blue, not a teammate. That's a good point. I will say though, it feels like with Shamshir BHS, it feels like it doesn't feel that bad compared to some other stuff. Maybe it's not Thrusting Sword level for invasions, but certainly is very usable. I love the standstill after the parry. He made his point. Parry is such a poor mechanic, though, to be fair, in this game. That's another thing. It's really not that hard to parry. Problem with parries in this game is that you don't get punished for missing it. Too little recovery. That's the problem. In Dark Souls 3, like, at least if you missed the parry, you had a good chance of getting backstabbed. So, like, the risk reward was way more even. Like, it made way more sense. I actually missed that kill because I swapped. I'm not gonna do that in the future. It's the first time I tried that. Uh-oh. Oh my god! This guy! This fucker! Oh my god! What are we doing here? Why are we here? Just to suffer? What the hell? Well, at least he got his item. At least he got whatever item that was. Have a nice power setup too. 5k VA online UPS with an inverter and solar. I'll never play without a UPS. Between the inverter and solar, you always have power, which is nice. Really nice, dude. Did you build like a solution out of parts yourself? Like, I've seen some vids online about like taking server rack batteries and buying like the inverter separately and, like, you know, trying to save a few bucks by like buying different parts. Or you just buy like a generalized solution, aka like a pre-built generator with everything already inside. Yes, you did? Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, you save a lot of money by doing that. Specifically for the inverter, yeah. I find solar to be like super interesting, like solar power, but living in Canada, especially in Quebec, it's let's just say that it's hard to make solar worth it. Like it's basically never worth it here because the electricity, the electricity comes from hydroelectricity, and it's very cheap. So it's hard to like come out on top price-wise with like solar installations and stuff like that. Even if you do it yourself, it's like some of the best electricity in the world, honestly, over here. Oh, I actually didn't think I would miss. I think the elevation played a role in that. Yes, even with the subsidies here in Ohio, it was similar. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Mish. Like, it's not necessarily like a good option everywhere. And I mean, when you're living in an apartment in Montreal, that's also not an option either. Like, you need to, it needs to be your place for this to make sense at all. But you know, it's always interesting to look at this stuff. Yeah, they have to be here. Okay, I see them. I like that we have like a few tech talks that are not like completely brain dead here and there in chat. It's always nice. I wonder if they're just gonna go for the boss. It looks like it. Doesn't seem like they're fighting anything. Unfortunate because we have the PvE here. I don't know what happened there. Maybe you got hit by an arrow or something. Also, Xenos, look at that. You got promoted to VIP. I just noticed. I don't know who did that, Xenos. I might have to take it away. uh... Yeah, you deserve it. You're always funny, and you've been here long enough. I wonder if they're above. That's the thing with this map. I think they are. Yeah. I'm not 100% though. You have to... Yeah, I mean, they have to be above. Or, yeah, I just saw them. They are above. Now I'm unsure if they went up top. Yeah, they have to. Yeah, I think we saw them on this side. Yeah, they are top. Never mind. How much strength for this build? 54. Always have 54. By the time we reach them, they might be fog walling. You help old people uninstall hardware on their adware on their phone. You're basically an IT worker. You should have given yourself like some sort of software engineer as a title. No, because you'd have to be designing the fucking software to be that. Never mind. Well, so far today, the Shemshir has been serving us pretty well. With no surprise, but what's surprising is BHS actually not bad on Shemshir. It feels like it helps a lot in gank situations. I mean, the thing with BHS is the ability to create distance, right? When you're against multiple people, you really need to create distance very often. When you're in a 1v1, it's not necessary, but... Okay. Oh. Is there any weapons that are not good with BHS? Yeah. Yeah, usually you don't want to have BHS on weapons that don't have, let's say, like a reliable attack to roll catch. Like, for instance, if you're using, I mean, weapons in this game do a good job at all, like, having, like, good attacks that have, like, roll catch potential with the crouch and everything. But, like, for instance, with Shamshir, you wouldn't want to have BHS Shamshir in a duel. You'd much rather have Sword Dance, because it complements the weapon, like, way better than BHS does. For invasions, though, it's just the ability to create distance is invaluable, so... It's like you always want to couple, like, offense with defense. BHS is technically, like, a defensive option. A defensive option for the most part, while Sword Dance is an offensive option. What you get with Sword Dance is sustained aggression, so when you iron out someone, like you get the first hit on them, it's good to be able to continue your chain of attack by keeping priority with something like a Sword Dance and start mixing up from there. Whereas with BHS, like, all you do is, like, you get your 2 hits and then you lose priority. But, like, for instance, if you were playing against, let's say a PSGS, like, maybe the BHS, it might be a little useful because you can avoid more of what they try to dish out at you, but for the most part, you're better off with Sword Dance. But again, for invasions, there's really no moment, or actually, that's not true. The moments where you can single out someone are very rare. And so, in these particular moments, Sword Dance is better. But in all the other situations where you clearly have, like, 3 people in front of you that are not necessarily next to each other, but either are next to each other or are fairly close to each other, whereas you can't commit to a successive attacks, then BHS becomes more valuable than something offensive. Stuff like Flame Strike, though, is a like an exception to that, because usually with Flame Strike you can attack multiple people at once. So you create, like, a blockade so that people, like, can't come near you. And then if they come from another side, you can also angle the follow-up to the other side. So Flame Strike is more versatile, basically. Insane cutscene.
Oh, death. Become my blade once
DHS on Flail? Like, Flail, for instance, I would much rather have, like, Flame Strike or Storm Stomp on a Flail than BHS. Oh, that's why you guys were saying bow glitch. I don't... I actually don't have... Oops. Oh, I just respawned somewhere else. I actually don't have what it takes to bow glitch this person. I don't have the gear on me. But yeah, making us watch the cinematic probably would have been good for a bow glitch. What is this spawn, though? Holy shit. What a respawn. Yeah, I need to put the bow glitch gear in the inventory, you know? Or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe it's better that I don't. Maybe it's better that I don't. You know, there's a choice to be made here, right? Like, I've only bow glitched once for the sake of, like, showcasing it and testing it, and that's it. So I think I'm still considered a white knight, a white bow glitch knight. And so do I want to keep it that way? Or do I want to become an evil player in bow glitch when I feel like it's warranted? Maybe I want to keep the moral high ground. And never use it. You guys would be disappointed, but... Oh my god, I almost jumped on top of this one. That might have made me fall. You need it in your inventory to at least use it when it's warranted. I know you guys are going to be saying like AFK farmers, but here's the catch. Like, the lists become wider the longer you play. Like, oh, I don't like what this guy's doing. Like, oh, I'm sure this is not okay. Like, and then, oopsie, bow glitch comes out. And then everyone's happy, But in the end, it's a perpetual cycle, you know? An eye for an eye, and then I get bow glitched after, and it's like, oh, I got bow glitched. Oh, sad. But if I never do it, and if I'm only a victim, then I'm the good guy, right? I'm sure you guys love my analogies. Just noticed we missed a free kill. There it is. Oh, he got his few hits, and now he's gone. You say shoot everyone until From Software patches this. Technically, that would actually be the best outcome for everyone, even though people don't want to admit it. That's actually the best outcome. Didn't you chainsaw like few times? Yeah, I basically never chainsawed. Like, it happened like very rarely. I did a few times, but it was very rare. You know, I know Steel would pull it out like very often. I don't want to do that. Same thing with the bow glitch in Dark Souls 3. Like, I tried to use it extremely sparingly. I'm not a big fan of those glitches because they take away like too much from the game, in my opinion. A good practice for the pots. Relying on FromSoft is a bad idea. I mean, what other choice do you have, though? The fact that you're an invader always makes you a bad guy on Reddit. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to appease to anyone when I say that. It's just my own pride. That's all there is. Like, you know, I'm saying that, like, you know, white knight stuff and, like, be honorable and all that shit, but it's just to be funny. I don't actually care about that. It's just my own pride. That's all there is to it. With that being said, I don't really care all that much about this game, so who knows? Like, I'm saying this now, maybe I'll feel different another day. Find it hard to imagine that From even noticed. From probably doesn't know, honestly. They definitely did not notice. The frame drops jumping here. These poor guys. They didn't really know what to do there. Felt like they were too focused on me and were ignoring like the PvE blasts. Next From Software game could be way worse though. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely, you're right. It's not really a new glitch. Those arrows made it more broken. Yeah, I mean, we knew about bolus cancel, but the use cases for bolus cancel were not, like, did not warrant necessarily using it for, like, achieving a superior result than what the base game would give you. Whereas this new application is basically, like, completely busted. So that's why we consider it, like, a new glitch. He used to work with the Ash of War decoy. Tarnished Edition will save the game, don't worry. Thank you, Callie. That's what I needed to hear. Really like the positivity. We have a teammate in here. But where are they? We definitely need to group up. Not really sure if they're this way or inside. I'm thinking this way. Could be wrong. I think they might have been inside, right? I think they're above here. Yeah. Like they're above. We need to regroup with teammate. One sec, I need to look at what... Wi-Fi isn't that bad anymore. Wi-Fi really has not changed. Like, the only thing that changed is the marketing. It's really the same thing. Wi-Fi on 5G is prone to the exact same problems as fucking, what was it, 2.7 or something like that? Prone to the same issues. Like, when you don't have interference, the signal's good. Like, you're right. Signal, when you don't have interference, the signal's very good, except that interference are basically the name of the game. Like, you can't really have Wi-Fi without interference if you live in the real world. Like, your neighbors have devices, you know, if you live in the city, like, there's so many connections to so many devices all around you. Wi-Fi works perfectly in a void, except that that void doesn't really exist. We need to figure out where that teammate is. These guys are waiting at the top of the ladder, and teammate is clearly not there. We're gonna give him some time. Hopefully the teammate is not, like, AFK in here somewhere. Hopefully he's making his way. Like, I definitely want to come to fight them, but we're gonna need the teammate for that. And if he's not there, then we might be here for a while. But I want to give that teammate the benefit of the doubt, because we saw his health bar at some point when we came in here. So he should be, like, playing. I just hope it's not like a scrub and, like, he saw the gankers and he just ran away, like, to hide in a corner. Like, you know how these weirdos do? Like, they just fucking run away, hide somewhere, and just, like, get off the game and just leave it running. Just to annoy the gankers. Oh, man. That might be what's going on here. Like, he could be anywhere. Like, this map is super big. Yeah, stability is definitely what you're looking for in a connection. For sure. Okay, we're gonna have to figure out where this fucking teammate is. Try to go hunting for that teammate. Feel like he might be like around here. Like hiding like somewhere here, right? But I mean, if it's someone who would do that, he's probably not smart enough to go in like remote locations, I assume. Alright, well, I think we're gonna have to let these guys figure that out. That teammate is hiding somewhere and they're just staying up here, so... It's just another waste of time, unfortunately. This would have been a nice invasion to play because they have the world, like, not killed. We have a teammate, but they're just standing there and teammate is hiding somewhere, so... I'm gonna move on. Dark Souls 3 is actually arguably way more balanced at low lat. If you take away the glitches, I'm not even sure, honestly. Like the problem with Dark Souls 3 is that a few setups trivialize all other setups completely. Utterly and completely. But on the other hand, those setups cannot be used by someone that's completely clueless. Like, you can't have a scrub that's completely ass at the game. Just destroy everyone with PK Murky, crossbow. Maybe Soul Mass would be the exception. Like, you can have really bad players do wonders with Soul Mass, but... Yeah, in Elden Ring, yeah, what Callie said. In Elden Ring, the off meta is way closer to the top than in Dark Souls 3. Like for instance, I can play with a Claymore and Flame Strike, and I can legitimately kill a good player with TS. And I say that, we know that for a fact, because Marco, like, won a tourney, like, in a... I remember, like, a quarterfinal in a tournament on PC where Marco, like, beat someone that was tryharding his ass off with Clean Rot, and Marco beat him with the nice greatsword. So we know that's true. And, you know, Night Greatsword, very off meta, and, like, Trusting Sword, like, it doesn't get more meta than this, but... I went edgy there and just stopped moving. The Ash of War on 80 weapon is a double-ended sword for balancing. I agree with you. I definitely agree. But yeah, yeah, Marco did that with Piercing Fang, though. He didn't even do that with Flame Strike, by the way. But to be fair, the TS also didn't have, like, a good Ash, so, I mean, it was, like, more fair on either side, so to speak. But I'm not saying that Greatsword is better than TS. I'm just saying that it's possible to, like, beat a TS with Greatsword. But at the same time, like, you know, back in Dark Souls 3, like, you know, I beat plenty of people that were using Murky, like even PvP King, for instance, with pure Claymore. And Claymore was a way worse weapon than Greatsword in Elden Ring. So, you can definitely apply that to both sides. It's just that I'll definitely agree with Callie that in Elden Ring, like, the off-meta weapons can compete way more than in Dark Souls 3. Like, you can pick up anything off-meta, and, like, you could crouch mix up someone with pretty, like, nearly every weapon, so to speak. KGS isn't off-meta. Bro. It's definitely not meta. Maybe it's meta and your invented, like, rule set that no one cares about. You know, where you ban, like, 30 weapons. Maybe it's meta then, but in the actual game, it's not. You know, you always get these players who have, like, a list of, like 50% of Ash of Wars are banned. It's like, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like, no, this weapon's actually very meta if you, you know, if you don't use half the game. Oh, boy. Let's try this. Is he gonna try to fight this one? You use Trusting Shield? Bro. Oh boy. Alright, that gives you the right to say that. If you use Trusting Shield, you're good. Bro, fucking Trusting Shield. You know what's sad about Trusting Shield is I want to use it. Because the fucking Trusting Shield looks so cool, but I feel bad for the people that are playing against it. Like, I want to use fucking Trusting Shield, but it's hard to justify using it because it feels bad for everyone. You know, there's one thing about... Is the guy still here? Okay, no, they redid the world. Alright, let's wait for a teammate for this one. Guys, if there's anyone in chat that wants to join this, this could be a fun invasion with a proper team here. Unironically, I thought these guys were just griefing, but they seem pretty chill. Like they have the tongue active, you know. We're gonna wait for a teammate. And then we're gonna do this. Might even spare them the TS. Let's see, what else could we use? Not really sure what I'd be using. Yeah, maybe that. Alright, there's anyone that wants to join. This could be a fun fight. Yeah, Clean Rot is dishonest. Use Trusting Shield. The thing with BHS Clean Rot is I don't feel bad about using it because it still depends on fundamental, whereas Trusting Shield doesn't. Like, the thing with Trusting Shield, with old Storm Stomp before they nerfed it, or with Blind Spot, like, these things defy the logic that the game is built around. It's a gimmick that transcends skills. Basically makes, like, a lot of things completely pointless. VHS, Clean Rot, and Fundies don't go well in the same sentence? No, it does. I would actually beat, like, pretty much anyone in a TS mirror because I have better spacing. There you go, Seminice there. It's just that you don't understand how to play the weapon properly. That's what it comes down to. If you say that, of course. I'm not saying it's the most skillful weapon, but to say there's no fundamentals in it just tells me you don't know how to play that. I lost lock on for some reason. I've noticed something too, like a lot of the like new blood coming in from Elden Ring, like on the comp scene, like really think they're hot shit, and the game is so fucking low skill. I always find it funny, and I never hear like the actual good players like saying stuff that I necessarily disagree with. Oh, okay, let me focus here. I'm not focusing. I don't like this structure in the middle here. And he's definitely playing around it. Play a bad spot. That really finds at the worst possible spots. Just needed to focus a little bit. You'd uninstall, to be honest? That's a good point. Although it's an invasion, like, at the end of the day, like, I didn't heal because I was confident that I could, like, if I focused, I could come back, but I you know, I'm not gonna shit talk them. Like, they basically gave me, like, an enjoyable, like, situation so that we could, like, 2v2 with someone. They went out of their way to, like, facilitate that, so... I mean, I definitely respect that. I thought they were just griefers. I guess I was wrong. Uh-oh. Okay, thank God. Oh my God, where do these come from? What the fuck? Did you invade on Seamless? I never installed the game on PC, dude. I know the quality of player is better there, like, just by looking at it. Like, I can tell, but... Like, I'm gonna be honest, Donut, like, I feel, like, tired of this game. Like, I wish Elden Ring never existed. He's making a joke because Seamless players don't level Vigor. Oh, I see. But I mean, I've seen, like, some invasions where, like, some players on Seamless are basically, like, ladder players just having fun. Like, a bunch of them. That's what I was thinking. Don't let YouTube hear that? What do you mean? I'm gonna be honest, Donut. I've always had this feeling that a lot of players that play on the ladder, whether it's PlayStation or PC, like, always have this sort of superiority complex when there's, like, really a handful of them that are actually good. You know what I mean? I always have this feeling. Like, they always come in and, like, I see it all the time, like, whether it's in the YouTube comments and some Discord fucking screenshot that people send me. Like, it's always like I always cringe a little bit. Like, there's a reason why these people have never won at anything competitive, really. Like, you can tell by their attitude. The mid-tier... Yeah, exactly, Callie. It's always the mid-tier players that have, like, this superiority complex. Like, when I look at, like, players that win tourneys, like, for instance, when I look at, like, Luber, when I look at Omega, when I look at fucking, like, Spades and Space and or Braun, like, when I look at these guys, I never hear, like, any bullshit, like, from them, or I never see, like, any sort of indication that would lead me to believe that they would have this superiority complex. And to be honest, they are the better players in this game. Like, when you look at, like, tournament record, ladder record, everything, like, they're basically, like, they basically shit on everyone that plays ladder. And yet, it's those people that get shitted on who always have this, like, big mouth. And believe me, even if I might not be at the level of, like, a Spades or a Braun, I'd still be able to beat them, even though I might not win in the long run. Like, people tend to forget that I was basically in that tier in Dark Souls 3, and the only reason why I'm not there in Elden Ring is because I don't fucking care about it. I don't participate in that stuff. One thing that I'm very happy about is by not participating in that stuff, I get a lot less of that. Like, I don't have to do, like, a lot of dick measuring for the audience, because I'm not like asked to do that. Whereas in Dark Souls 3, I was basically constantly asked to do that. So it's a lot more relaxed in this game because of it, but it does still get annoying, I must say. And the worst part is, in this game, you know, it's not always the better player that wins. That's the worst part. Oh, I thought that was a combo. I was out of that. This guy had a lot of HP. Oh, he's latent. That explains why the priester caught me earlier. There you go. All right. Elden Ring is not worth ensnaring yourself in a competitive toxic environment. Yeah, definitely not worth it. It's not like it doesn't feel good enough to go through that. It's definitely not worth it from my perspective. But it's not like I'm not yearning for that competitive aspect, though. Like, if FromSoft comes out with another game that, that's a little more, might I say, like, balance, dare I say balance? Yeah, game is too inconsistent to be competitive. Yeah, I think that's the right way to put it. It's not even a matter of balance, it's just a matter of consistency at that point. Like, down to the very core, like, when you look at red and blue feather, like the physics, all of that stuff leads to a lot of outcome where the better player doesn't win. I think that's what makes me like so frustrated. The input eating, that's something we didn't have in other Souls games. Like in Dark Souls 3, why did I never complain about getting my input eaten? It's because it didn't exist. It's a new thing that happens constantly. It's always in your face, and you basically, if you're not, like, let's say blocking, because, like, you're block canceling to do certain things. If you're not block canceling, you're missing out on a lot of potential skilled move, let's say, or potential roll catch chains, or you name it, if you're not block canceling. But the moment you start block canceling, you open yourself to, like, getting your input eaten because of blocks. And then, just by locking on, your character can pivot by itself. That can also eat your input. That, there's nothing you can do about it. Crouching, same thing, Maybe you can learn the timing at which you can't, like, do an action after you crouch because it's going to eat your input. Yeah, you can learn that, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still going to happen if you constantly have to use the crouching. So all this stuff, like, Definitely not amazing. Alright, let's be a little more positive here. Oh, he moved. Oh, it doesn't reach. I'm thinking like so close. Okay, one drop. Well, the fact that he dropped there means that they can't really come back. Well, I'll need to come back, I guess. Speaking of aim punch, yeah, I thought he was lagging. Fucking my axe went above him. Insane. Okay, we have a teammate in here. Hopefully this teammate is not completely clueless. I think I need to make myself visible for this teammate though. That the teammate can come in. Man, it's so sad. Like, we have some fucking... We have some people here that are actually, like, setting up, like, proper fucking 2v2 invasions. And then we only had one fucking instance where we had, like, someone that wasn't clueless in there. Because they blocked everyone? No, but I mean, the world was already full the other times. Like, I feel like this invader is going to be like a clueless Kevin that has no idea what he's doing. He's gonna be like looking for the holes in like a corner somewhere. Oh, they killed him. He might have been a clueless Kevin actually. Why are co-invaders that bad at this game? You'd think the fucking invaders would be goated at this game, given how hard fucking invasions are. Like, you'd think the fucking teammates you get are like fucking battle-hardened and they're like ready for every situation. Sometimes invaders are noob trying the feature for the first time. Yeah, but they should never be touching it again by by the way things are, because this game is so unfriendly for, any invader who is not, like, utterly prepared. You know, you expect like the players you fight to be like the worst in the series because the game doesn't teach you how to play. But for the same reason, like you'd expect the invaders to be the best ever because the condition to be an invader are the harshest. Can't pronounce it. But yeah, I see what you mean. Like, you know, it makes sense. He did a Thunter Stung run, and every one of these invaders were just so bad. I think really when it comes to like the quality of players, it's like you have the PvP community, like the people that are in this chat, you know, the people that are in the Discords, the people who play ladder. You have like this group of players, and then everyone else is probably really bad at PvP. Like, you know, you're basically like in the top like 0.1% by default, just by, you know, being around like PvPers or dedicated PvPers, basically. You know, it's just like watching the Twitch rivals, right? Bro, it takes so long to get a teammate, man. We're gonna wait though. I know they're waiting for someone to come in. We're gonna do the same. Someone's gonna come in at some point. Have you messed around with 2 stock lately? I did a little bit, but I've seen like a tourney where I think it was Bevan who used like 2 trusting swords. It looks like it did work. I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, I definitely know it's a good setup, although I can't tell you if it's better or not than two-handed TS because I haven't played with it enough. But, you know, I still tried it like a while ago, and it was very good. I think I tried it on Fate too, actually, but I tried it like double flame strike buff, basically. Come on, chat. Is there no one that that wants to dabble here? These invasions are fun, guys. Like, seriously. If you guys want to come in there, okay. I think he wants to. Alright, I guess we're gonna fight it out. All right. I mean, you have to give your respect to that guy. He's been pretty patient with me today. All right, do this. You should physic though. Oh. I feel bad, honestly. Like, we should have had like a 2v2 fight there. I feel like he's going beyond what he's supposed to be doing. Like, he's being too nice. Guys, I'm never happy. He's being too nice. Never happy, guys. No, but seriously, like, I feel bad. Like, they've been waiting this whole time, and then like, these guys want some 2v2 fights and no one's fucking showing up. Kinda sad. Because we're all blocked? Bro, there's no way they're blocking everyone. Like, they're way too nice for that. Just look at how they're fucking acting. Like, there's no way they blocked everyone. I don't believe it. I don't believe that, dude. Bro, if they were like that, they would have fucking ganked me there. But they didn't. Well, this guy's high level. Still some high level here. God, now we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. What the fuck am I getting hit by? I think this fucking projectile might be going through the trees. And the blue, because this can't be a good fight if there's not 3 players. Gonna have to use the terrain and PvE a little more here. What the hell was that? Okay, where's the other guy? There he is. Like bang punched. Combos. Oh, you better run, my friend. Okay. I like these panic rolls. They're really making my life easier. Not max level, but high as fuck. Yeah, I mean, he was definitely gonna be high level with the fucking... the spells, the armor, the staff, you know? Alright guys, reaching the 3-hour mark. Let's do a last one, and then I'm gonna call it for today. And I should play more with fucking halberd and axe. Like, that shit is so versatile. It's actually so much fun to play with. Not a big fan of the look, but it's a lot of fun. No 2v2s? Yeah, no 2v2s. You actually don't like this setup at all? I like it because it keeps priority against a lot of stuff. Until people realize they can R2 out of its stun, it keeps priority a lot. Stupid game. Yeah, I was so sad the other day when I realized you can fucking... like, with a two-handed lance, you can R2 out of, like, lance crouch vortex. Like, if you do, like, 2 crouch back-to-back. Like, you can escape that by just R2ing out of its stun. I was so sad when I learned that. Interesting, we missed that. Oh. The Lance R2 is a completely brain-dead attack. In general, hyper armor weapons feels very low skill floor. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. It's very tedious to fight against an hyper armor weapon for the most part. Alright guys, Thanks everyone for coming by again. I appreciate it. Oh, I think that's enough for me. Alright guys, thank you again for all the support as always, and catch you guys up later. Let's see which streamer scrub is playing Elden Ring right now that we can raid. Oh, we got Fuji. I think that's gonna be Fuji. Alright, Fuji the lucky scrub. Alright guys, take it easy everyone.